Hey, what's up, everybody? Brain Gamer. Still got that cough. What's up, Figs? Alright, so I got 2 more covers for IDW to do. And being that the project has been announced, I'm just going to stream this shit and post it after the issues actually come out. But so this is my Ruffy for issue 5 of First Strike. You can see this trim I've added so I can draw extending out to sort of make up for some of the cut that's going to go on when it gets cut down. I just sort of cut that logo out on my own on one of their books and scribbled it in 5 so I can kind of see where things are going to be here. So this is what I generally send them to get approved. I actually do 2 at a time, so I sent 5 and 6 to get an idea of what I'm going to produce here. So this one's going to feature Rom and Scarlet, and Windblade, and Quick Kick, and Starscream. So 5 characters plus a background, big transformer. I think I tried to limit it this time because I did like 9 characters on the last 2 pinups per page. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 characters on this one. I think plus some little tiny ones back here. So I might be able to work in Quick Kick, and I don't know who the fuck that's supposed to be. I've since forgotten. Someone back there. Someone back there. And then Cybertron. That'll be interesting to do. But I'm going to turn that off. And I kind of just start building over this. Try to build. Did a little bit of it yesterday. Sorry. Where I kind of try to build a volume, but I don't know how much of that I'm going to keep here. So. Hey, what's up? I tend to work pretty slow at this phase and try to like speed up as I'm actually draw it. So this is where construction and everything else comes into play. So people are like, oh, Rob just talks about it but doesn't actually do the shit. You know, it's like, no, man, I really do. What I kind of want to do with that. Yeah, I tried to scale back on the characters on the last 2 covers, but that didn't work out very well. Matter of fact, I don't think I've even shown those covers yet, because con happened. So I always appreciate it, Kyle. So this will be cover 3. And cover 4 will be, here you can open this up. So that's cover 3 and then cover 4. So I'm trying to scale back some of the characters on this one. Because I fit like everything in the kitchen sink in this one. Hey, what's up, Yasuki? This is what I mean when I talk about building the volume, right? Giving yourself a little bit of a place to shove all the characters in. And this is kind of a one-point perspective that I'm trying to bend a little bit. So it's a little bit of a... Sorry. It's gonna have to just be good enough. It doesn't have to be perfect. Then I'll turn that down and lock that. Delete history, freeze transformations. It's another cover for IDW for issue 5. Yeah, it's for first strike. Yep. Hmm. I don't know what cover you're talking about, Daisuke. You talking about Wonder Boy? What, the cheat codes? I got like 4 different covers in production right now, so I don't know which one you're talking about. Yeah, Wonder Boy. No, it's for a digital magazine called Megavisions. Focus on Sega. No, I did that Game Informer cover. I don't think I'll ever do another one again. I mean, how many people do 2 Game Informer covers ever? So. How did I get the Game Informer cover? Or the Megavisions? Well, with the Megavisions, I used to do all the covers for Play Magazine, and then I did Game Fan. And then I did Retro, because the guys that used to work at Game Fan ended up helping launch Retro and brought me over there on a recommendation. And the guys that make Megavisions were friends with the guys that made Retro, so my name got thrown about, and they asked if I'd be willing to do a cover. I looked at what they were doing, saw what they were trying to go with it over the next 4 or 5 years, and said, why don't I just do all the covers? And they said, cool. So they don't have to worry about that. We can kind of keep consistency with the book and everything else. 1 second. The Game Informer, I just got hit up on Twitter. I don't have many Twitter followers at all. Maybe, I think like 2,000. But I post all my work in progress pics everywhere. And I did this Leia cover last year for Retro. Or 2 years ago for Retro for The Force Awakens. All those Star Wars gaming, Star Wars games and plushies. And I guess the editor-in-chief just saw it and put me in that, hey, you know, we got a spot open, we should hit this guy up. So he hit me up on Twitter. Said, hey, would you like to do it? But we got like a super tight deadline. you know, so I said I can get it done. So when artists tell me, one second, when artists tell me I'm not on that platform because I don't like it or there's no one there, like DeviantArt, you know, um, every year I get one or two people in DeviantArt who want commissions. This year I got a guy who works at Industrial Light and Magic who's a fan of my art and runs all like pretty big dude in the company and wanted me to do some saucy paintings because he's working on the Marvel stuff. So I did it, and that put an extra few $100 in my pocket, you know, and I got an invitation to come down there anytime I want. So it's like, you know, I put my stuff everywhere and keep consistent with it, you know. When people are like, you gotta have like, you know, millions of followers and you gotta be known. It's like, not really. You just gotta catch luck. Has another thing. You gotta catch the people's attention, you know. And doing the quickest thing possible. Like, well, it's a lot of effort. I remember I put like 100 hours into that Star Wars cover. You know, it was an insane amount of fucking stuff. So, you know, but down the way. Cool, I just wanted to somewhere. I don't know. Well, that's the question, right? How do you sell art? I don't mind. Sorry, I'm just coughing. Trying not to cough consistently into the mic. Um, you can ask. It's just, you know, the thing about selling art is, you know, it's like I try to get my art to the point where I'd be willing to pay for it, you know? And it took a long time before I got anywhere near there. Um, I don't know if there's any one way to do it. What you see me doing now is exactly how I managed to go about it is put my work everywhere, always produce at a professional level, and I just don't care how long things take. You know, I just try to execute my ideas and I try to vary up the art styles a little bit, you know? Um, Sure. Can do the same with an art gallery or a coffee shop or anything else. I'll be honest, man, I'm less concerned with selling my art as I am with making art that's worth buying. So if you're really concerned with selling art, but your art, looks extremely juvenile, then to me, it just feels like mom putting your art on the fridge with the star on it. It doesn't really mean much to me. That's just my personal philosophy. Well, I don't know about real artists so much as just can you get work? Can you actually get professional work? If you can get professional work, then there you go. If you can't, then, you know, then there you go. guy has a lot of weird shapes I gotta work out. No. No, I don't really follow artists. Follow Jonathan, but no, I don't really follow artists on YouTube. Oh, cool. Nice. Seen them when they make the giant cloud swords. Start slicing through watermelons and shit. It's pretty fun. The only thing I watch on YouTube is sometimes Angry Joe. I watch Collider. But I listen to things, so mostly like Joe Rogan or Howard Stern or Conspiracy Radio and shit like that when I'm working. When I'm not working, watch anime and TV or play with my dog or do yard work. Today I had to do yard work. Um, Alright. Well, what I saw was like a year or two ago where they made the cloud sword for real and then sliced through watermelons. The Cloud Buster. Hmm. There's a reason why I don't stream a lot of this stuff is because I make a lot of minute decisions and back and forth little like nitpicky stuff. Mm. The scissor plants. It's awesome. I always like that spinning thing the guy from Dragon Ball, Ninja Scroll threw out. Hey, what's up? Nah, I don't play music. That way people can listen to their own. I play a theme song, and that's it. Put music in the speed videos, though. So if you see those, type of music do I like? Depends on what I'm working on, or listen to a lot of anime soundtracks, musical scores. Uh, Late 80s, early 90s hip hop, early 90s grunge music, you know, Daft Punk, 70s disco and soul. So, it depends. Hmm. listen to a lot of, try to keep things tempered, not super out of control, because I don't like to rush through anything. So I don't listen to a ton of music while I'm drawing. I'll actually just leave on like either a podcast, or if I'm under the gun a little bit, I'll put on like MasterChef Australia, just because I'm watching people constantly, or listening to them constantly go through, you know, having to hurry it up. When I'm developing, I just sit in silence. If you really want my opinion, I have to just kind of focus. Having worked in art departments where sometimes you're not even allowed to have headphones on, you have to learn to develop without, you can't Iron Eagle your way through everything. I guess this generation's Baby Driver, right? If you absolutely need music to work on your stuff, you know, you may end up in a job where that's not possible. Of course, I may just have worked in a lot of real shitty places. Oh, yeah. Sorry, guys. I've worked in some real shitholes. Have I had to keep people away? No, but I get it. You know, I've had headphones on to drown out salespeople who are talking, just so it muffles a bit. But I have to be able to hear the art director terms of keeping people away, that I've never been in, you know, people need shit from you. They'll get a hold of you. They can, you know, usually work on Mac, so they always have the Apple thing open the whole time. In the places I've worked, if you are unapproachable, they just fire you. That's not gonna work. Yeah. Hey, what's up? Sumida. Switzerland, nice. Yeah, the early construction. Yeah. It can be a little intimidating moving from Ruffy to, you know, this phase, but I've just found that if you build the volume, start to build silhouette, spend a few minutes, turn it off, draw another one, you know, give yourself some options, cut and paste a couple of different proportions together, make sure you're adhering to some level of three-dimensionality. So even though it's a 1 point, he's moving three-dimensionally in the space, right? And then this is curving back, right? Simple stuff that, you know, a lot of like, you know, you end up seeing a lot of new artists, you know, tend to just draw flat on, right? It would be like this, and then there'd be another person behind him, like straight on, straight on, straight on, straight on. And then adjusting your proportions as you go. Checking it against the Ruffy to see how big am I making these characters. You know, so I'm not going too large, too small. Start to compact a little bit. Where are we from? I live in Idaho, in the United States right now. What sizing characters to each other? What do I think about? Like, it depends. You know, if it's depends on who I'm selling it to, what I'm doing. You know, if it's sort of traditional, you know, then you could. I mean, if I want to do cartoony, I could do a Hulk this big and do a little itty bitty Wolverine. Do do do. You know. See, if I'm doing more, Marvel, Capcom proportions, and go this big, and then make a Wolverine that's maybe half the size, right? Maybe a little. So depends. On this is more action figure-y than cartoony. So and if you ever want to just resize your character really quickly, just shrink the head down. See, now he's bigger because everything's based on head size, right? If you want to make him smaller, just make the head bigger. Look at that. Oh no. See? Look, now he's a bobblehead. And your client should sort of know what you're going for before you start, right? So, see, like, now it's bobblehead. We can go chibi if it's like this big, right? That's just weird. Like, so. Yeah, but I tend to deal in action figure proportions. I don't care about drawing realistic, a 6.5 tall. Depends. I'll lengthen things out, like if I was drawing like an Image comic style, shorter tops with longer legs, that kind of come down like this, you know. They're more cartoony, sort of anime on comma. I can do thicker legs that are stubbier. This is all about shape play, shape design, right? And it's based on like who my audience is, what the tone of the piece I'm going for. You know. Then you have the realistic proportions, which are like even, virtually even torso. This is my least favorite way to draw. So that's the one. This is the one I avoid at all costs because I just don't care. No. Good luck changing the world's opinion, Daisuke. I personally have Yeah, they're all caricature. I don't care about proving anything to the world. I have a vision of what I want my piece to look like, and I attempt to do it. That's basically it. This is ROM. ROM was from the 70s, pre-Transformers. Afro Samurai is still a cartoon. Nothing realistic about it. It's all cartoons. You could say one's more 13 and up. You could say one's more 8 and up. You gotta know who your audience is. Anime just is animation, man. Yeah, they're all exaggerated. If you actually rendered a photograph of Samuel L. Jackson, that would be realistic. You know, or if you had, I mean, come on. I'm not getting into this conversation, guys. Don't distract me. It's just, I'm gonna, I don't, if you can't see it, Daisuke, then I always tell people, if you can't tell the difference between He-Man and Frank Frazetta, you're gonna have a hard time convincing other people. Rom. Nice. All right, that's a good start. Yeah, my brother looted all my shit when I joined the army. So. Show the details of the facial features and wrinkles and claws. I'm not doing this right now, Daisuke. Why don't you go look at Snow White, Cinderella? I don't care. My limits are, I just don't care. Everyone else is right. I'm wrong. I don't care. So the goal here is to make these guys like buddy cop, right? Hmm. He's gonna have to be brought down, otherwise his foot's gonna end up going into that. We can kind of center these guys a little better. Hmm. take this and quickly mask this. I think the thing to remember when you're sketching thick with these thick lines is that they're not going to take up as much space as you think they are because the lines are thicker. Then I need to look at what I previously did too, you know. Sometimes he's right there. Yeah, it's not the time I drew him, so I need to figure out where his reference is. I don't think it's weird people are on watching different streams. It's probably weirder that I don't watch anything, but I just think you get to a certain point in your career where you just can't. You know, I can't possibly. When I sit at this computer, it's to work. It's not really to do anything other than that. Wonder when that started. I don't think I remember. I'll tell you when it started. 2010. It definitely started around 2010. When I started doing so much work I couldn't possibly keep up with what everyone else was doing. And then I just stopped altogether. Alright, so he's going to have a backpack. And I'm going to give him these things he doesn't actually have in the comic because I think they're cool. Give him some shredder claws. And he just got pants, right? Alright. He's got those little shin guards. Give him his swords back there. And then just very quickly try to block in some of this. I mean, I have artist friends who are like, I don't follow anyone because no one's making art anymore that I like. I'm like, well, that's just ridiculous. I would probably hang out on someone like if Yo-Yo Shinari ever streamed just to watch him work. That'd be fun. But growing up at Con, I've seen almost everyone I ever grew up with draw. Drew Struzan was doing some streams. I'd probably show up there. But I mean, I don't think I'd be able to. That's going to need to come up more. Well, at least there's that documentary, right? You can watch him paint with his left hand. That was cool. But that guy was so good, he'd just do all the shit in the middle of the night anyway. So, one of those guys that never need a reference, just painted it perfectly. Yeah, I need to adjust the foreshortening on this. This is going to be more like that. Yep. Now this is a problem. Because his shoulder's going to get covered up by that arm. It's going to be hard to see. Scale the gun down a little bit. Nah. Please, I really don't want suggestions. Appreciate it, Figs. I don't. This isn't. I'll be here all day with a million people saying in this and that. Like I can't do it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't care. As long as I felt that was right. This is also why I don't stream this part. I'm just trying to give you guys a good example, you know? of what the process is like for me. I'm fine with making my own mistakes. I can't make mistakes because someone on the internet said I should move the hand to the right, you know? It's never going to go well. These publishers don't even like that I show all this stuff. Yeah. They just want you to show a sketch during a press release. So what I do now is I get these emails telling me what I can show when, you know? Very specific. Show this one and show that one. Like they create this weird narrative, like how you're supposed to display your art to people, you know? Why is that? You got me, bro. Because they think they know how the internet works. You know, they think there's an actual formula or something. I don't know. You know, there is no formula. Like I was on the phone with YouTube and they were telling me, well, we just think your thumbnails all look the same. Like when you're looking at a mobile, it just looks like it's the same video over and over. I'm like, okay, well, one, um, up until a year ago, I did only my thumbnails were just images of the video at some form, so they all look completely different, and that didn't help or change my viewership at all. I'm like, two. Joe Rogan's thumbnails all look exactly the same, and he has like 2 million. So that's not it, guys. Like, you know, like they just have this theory, you know, and I'm like, the other half is, you know, luck. But in terms of what you can show, I think a lot of times they just don't want that image they wouldn't want a construction image representing the final product, you know. I think people have a hard time gauging. You know, like these days when you see a headline that says concept art from the Force Awakens leaks, it's not concept art, it's promo art. You know, it's very rarely concept art. When actual concept art leaked from that movie, it looked like chicken shit scratches because they actually, you know, look like a scarab. I saw like, you know, this with some Photoshop part, and then they're like, oh, that doesn't look like it's a Star Wars painting. I'm like, well, that's actually what fucking construction looks like. That's concept art. So I just think they, you know, they hire these marketing departments that come up with these theories. You know, yeah, but you're like, that's not a concept. You know, that's the art from the fucking. That's going to be on the backpack. Yeah, it's promo art. They don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? They don't. There's this badass illustrator. He renders all realistically. It was on DeviantArt about 10 years ago. He's from the Philippines. He always Marilyn Monroe and Bruce Lee photorealistic renderings without tracing from photos. Like he was doing all his own shit, and I was like, pretty good. I was working at this t-shirt company that had the Bruce Lee license. So I was like, yeah, you should hire that guy to do some shirts, right? At least one good shirt. Um, and then they're like, oh, yeah, we'll do that. And they didn't. And then later on, they're like, well, we want some sketches. I'm like, a Bruce Lee? They're like, yeah. And then they hand me his art. You know, we were doing research. I'm like, well, okay, one, I handed you his art to go hit him up to do it. Two, that ain't a sketch. Those are photorealistic renderings. No, see, it's pencil, it's sketch. I'm like, no, asshole. I was like, this is a sketch. I got a pencil and sketch something. You know? It's like that. You know, you're just like, this is not sketches, man. Yeah, it's just sort of pencil renderings. I'll check it out. All right, let me save this. What time is it? 90 minutes. One 1:30 a.m. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's in the middle of the afternoon here. About 12, 13-hour difference, right? I'm going to want to make those claws much bigger than normal. Chunky claws. Just my subtle hints at them let me draw TMNT sometime. I need to rotate that gun a little more. So it's not so straight on. Something a little bit more action-y. That's going to need some work, but it's enough. Just foreshorten a little bit. Put it behind stuff, instant foreshortening. So they've got a little symmetry going on there. Quick kick. Seems legit. All right. I gotta go look at some homes for a couple hours. Then I'll go back and work on this. I'll be back on tonight to stream more of this process. So, but I got these little die arrays I gotta work out back here, and then these two characters. I'll probably get these two characters next, so that they're in there, and then Starscream. I'll get these two done probably during my dinner, and then I'll stream the Starscream so you guys can see me do all that. And then all these foreground elements will get done last, so I can kind of be really picky about where they go. So if this were a comic book page, I wouldn't be spending nearly as I'd basically just be doing this, and then a basic construction invert. Like I would invert this, you know, so it was white with black, and I'd print it out and finish it up on the board. So there's, you know, with covers though, I really take covers more like posters. Like I get real picky about cover art. So covers should be good enough to sell the book, not because you got a name that you just did a cover and that's going to sell the book. That's how I feel about it. They should take any one of these fucking covers and make a giant comic book style poster out of it, right? So I'll be back on in a few. Thanks for hanging out, Daisugi, Figs, Crusher, Talon, Dwivendi, Hector. I'll be back on in a few. Sorry, guys. Man, this cough's getting annoying.